So hi everyone, in this video I'm going to explain one more example of for each loop. Okay, so here this program we're going to explain how to come out of a for each loop. So for each loop will going to iterate whenever there's a value within a collection. So here there's 10 values, therefore your for each loop will going to execute how many times? 10 times. Okay, so now we will see how to come out of that for each loop. So for that I've taken one class with name of for each 2 public in which there's a public static void main. Two variables sum and what count, that is initialized to what? 0. Both is initialized to what? 0. Sum comma count. So and I have taken a single dimension array with 10 values starting from what? 1 to 10. So there is a for each loop, syntax of that one. First you have to specify data type, that should be same as a collection, and next I have to give some variable name and colon followed by collection name. So single dimension array name is what? Numbers. So I have done what? Numbers. So in the first iteration numbers will go to assign the value 1 to what? X. Okay, so system.out.println it is going to print what? 1. So we'll get output in this way. The value is 1. Okay, next it will calculate what sum. What's the previous value of sum? Sum is what? 0. Sum 0 plus what? 1. So we'll get 1. So now sum value is how much? 1. And count will be incremented. Now what's the previous value of count? 0. 0 plus 1 is how much? 1. Now count value is how much? 1. Okay. So whether 1 is equal to 4, no, break will not be executed. Directly go to what? Next iteration. Next iteration it will go to assign 2 to what? X. Now what's the value of what? X? 2. That will be printed. So value is what? 2. So we'll get this output. Next it will calculate what sum. So what's the previous value of sum? 1. Now what's the value of X? 2. 1 plus 2 is how much? 3. Now sum value is what? 3. And count will be incremented. What's the previous value of count? 1. Now it will go to become what? 2. Okay. Whether 2 is equal to 4, no, break will not be executed. It will go to what? Next iteration. In this iteration it will go to assign 3 to X. That will be printed. Okay. Next it will calculate what sum. What's the previous value of sum? 3. Now what's the value of X? 3. 3 plus 3 is how much? 6. Okay, now sum value is what? 6. Count will be incremented. What's the previous value of count? 2. Now it will going to become what? 3. Break will not be executed because this condition is false. It will go to what? Next iteration. Now we'll going to assign 4 to what? X. That will be what? Printed. So value is what? 4. That got what? Printed. Okay. Yeah, next it will going to calculate what sum. What's the previous value of sum? 6. 6 plus 4 is how much? 10. So count will be what? Incremented. So what's the previous value of count? 4. Now it will going to become, so previous value is 3. Now it will going to become what? 4. But 4 is equal to what? 4. True. Break, it will come out of what? Your for each statement. Okay, and it will going to print this one. Result is sum. What's the value of what? Sum? 10. We'll get output as what? 10. Okay, so in this way you can come out of what? For each loop by using the keyword break. Okay, just copy this particular program along with what? Output. Now in this video I'll explain how to iterate over a multi-dimensional array using a for each loop. Okay, so for that I have taken out a class with name of for each 3. So there's a public static void main. So I've taken on variable sum and initialized towards 0. So there's a 2-dimensional array with name what? Numbers. Okay, with 3 rows and what? 5 columns. Okay, and I'm using what? 2 for loops. I think you can understand. It will run up to what? 3 times. This will run up to what? 5 times. Okay, initial value of I is at 0 and j is also at 0. When I 0, j is 0. So now I is what? 0. You'll get 1 plus 1 star j is also 0 1. So 0 plus 1 is how much? 1 star what? 1. 1 into 1 is how much? 1. So in a 0 0 it will going to store the value what? 1. In the same way it will store 3 rows and what? 3 columns. I think you know this one. Okay, so now the important thing is not this particular loop, for loop. So now I have to concentrate on for each loop. Now just observe, after storing this value I'm using what? For each loop. Okay, so data type I have taken as what? Integer, because 2-dimensional array data type is what? Integer. So now this 2-dimensional array in each iteration will go to assign one complete row. This complete row will be assigned to what? X in the first iteration, and this complete this X will go to assign one value to what? Y in each iteration. Okay, first it will assign 1 2 3 4, then what? 5. Again it will go to what? This particular iteration, outermost for each. So now the numbers will going to assign second row. This will be assigned to what? X. Now X will going to assign 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to what? Y. And that will be what printed. Again, sum will be what calculated, just like what previous program. Okay, and you will get what result. Okay, if you go with a two-dimensional array, it will assign what single dimension array to. It will assign single dimension array. If you take a single dimension array, it will assign what? One value. That is how your for each will going to work. Okay, just copy this particular program. So and you will get output in the this way for the previous program. Okay, even copy the output. Yeah, the next one, next concept is unconditional control statements or what jump statement. In syllabus we have what break as well as what continue. So what is the use of what break? Break is used to terminate from the loop or what switch. Okay, just like in the just now in the previous program we use what break to come out of what for each loop. Okay, so I'll take what a simple example. Class break demo. So within which there's a public static void main. I've taken a for loop. Okay, and it will run over 10 times. And it will go to print word value. Okay, so suppose if I becomes what 4, then I'm using what break. So means if it will go to print 0, it will go to print 1, it will go to print 2, it will go to print 3. When I becomes what 4, I'm using what break. What will happen now? It will come out of what your for loop. What next statement line after the closing bracket. So after the closing bracket is the closing bracket of a main new program terminates. So it will go to print 0, 1, 2, 3. When it becomes what 4, since I'm using what break, it will come out. So you'll get this particular output. I think you're familiar with what break. Okay. Yeah. Just copy this particular program along with what output. Break is used to terminate from the loop or what switch statement. I'm not going to explain the with respect to what switch. Okay. Yeah. The next keyword is what continue. So break is used to terminate from the loop as well as for switch, whereas continue it forces to execute next iteration in the loop. Okay, so whenever it encounters what continue, it will continue with what next iteration by skipping what remaining lines. Okay, so for that I have taken what simple class with name continue demo, within which there's public static void main, and there's a loop and it will run what up to what 10 times. So I'm using what an if statement. If I becomes what 3, I'm using what continue. So what will happen? For I equal to 0, it will go to print. For I is equal to 1, it will go to print. For I is equal to 2, it will go to print. If I becomes what 3, continue means once it encounters keyword continue, it will continue with what next iteration. Means it will not going to print the value what I, and it will continue with what next iteration. That is what 4. So you'll get output what 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it will not going to print 3. Why? Because of the keyword continue. So continue forces to next iteration in the loop. Okay, I think you can yeah, just copy this particular program along with what output. Thank you.